States Ambassador to Japan and the United States Secretary of Commerce.
Well, welcome everybody. I'm incredibly proud to announce that this evening we're going to be signing $490 billion of investment. So I'm sorry I left you down. I didn't get to 500 billion. I came a little short, but we'll get there. Anyway, so these deals are driven by the Japanese Strategic Investment Initiative, which was created by your tariff policy and by your historic trade agreement with Japan. So that was the underlying reason that we were able to get all these deals done today. So the commitments ensure the economic and national security of the United States of America. We're going to be developing energy. We're going to be developing nuclear, semiconductors, and strengthening the entire domestic supply chain. So I'd like to kick it off, right? And the first company I'd like to announce is Westinghouse, which will invest up to $100 billion in nuclear reactors to restore U.S. energy dominance. And we have the co-signer is Bruce Flatt, who's the chairman and CEO of Brookfield Asset Management. So come on up. There you go. You can hold it with the president. We're starting with the big deals. Then we have GE Vernova, also $100 billion by using nuclear, the construction of SMRs, and also large-scale power equipment such as gas turbines, steam turbines, and generators. And we have Scott Strazik, CEO of GE Vernova. Next, we have Bechtel is doing up to $25 billion in construction and engineering services to build these large-scale power all across the United States of America. And Brendan Bechtel, please come on up.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador. Thank you.
Next up is Kiewit, also $25 billion in engineering, procurement, and construction services. Thomas Shelby, come on up, the group president. Next up, someone we know really well. Masa-san from SoftBank is going to provide $25 billion of engineering, development, specification, design, procurement of large-scale power infrastructure in America. Thank you. Thank you. Next, we have Toshiba, also up to $25 billion in U.S. electrical power modules and transformers. Ensure One, up to $25 billion in large-scale baseload power infrastructure. And this is Wadi Haboush. Next, we have the Carrier Corporation. Will build up to $20 billion in thermal cooling systems and solutions, chillers, air handlers, and coolant distribution for our power infrastructure. And with us today is Michael Georges. Here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Thank you. It's an honor. Thank you. Make sure it's all right. Now we have Kinder Morgan, the great pipeline company in America, is providing up to $7 billion in natural gas transmission and other power infrastructure. And we have Kimberly Gang, who's the CEO, with us today. Now, this is all moving to AI infrastructure. Next, we have Mitsubishi Electric, which will build up to $30 billion in power station systems. You've got generators, transmission, and equipment, all for data centers. K-UMA. Next up, TDK will build $25 billion in electronic components and power modules that are essential for the AI infrastructure. Noboru Saito. Next up is Fujikura. You know, we know them, of course, for making great shafts, right, in golf clubs. But they also have the best cabling in the world for AI systems, and they're going to be bringing that critical optical fiber cables for the internet to America. Naoki Okada, who's the president and CEO of Fujikura. Next, we have Hitachi, but Hitachi hasn't decided how big they want to be yet, so they're thinking about it. But all they have to do is throw in an extra 10 and we'll get there. Takahashi Tokaunga. Murata Manufacturing will provide $15 billion in advanced electronic components. Norio Nakajima is the president of Murata Manufacturing Company. And lastly, rounding out our $490 billion, Panasonic will provide $15 billion to supply energy storage systems with electronic components. Yuki Kusumi.
excited. Great job.
Not everyone who committed was able to be here tonight, but we had one of the most extraordinary groups of people who've committed to back your tariff moves and your historic trade deal to bring amazing infrastructure to America. And they're all really, really grateful to be here for you, Mr. President.
Well, thank you. We just heard that Toyota is going to be contributing $10 billion building auto plants throughout the United States. And they are doing it, I think, because of the November 5th election and because of the tariffs. And I was just authorized to make that statement. And we have another company that's going to be contributing at least $10 billion, and I'll give you that name later. We'll keep it a little. They wanted to do it very quietly, and that's okay with me. It could be quiet or not quiet. It's still about, I think, $18 billion. So we're very close to that.
You're at 518. You're at 518.
If you think about it. So thank you all very much. Great honor. You're great business people, my friends. Almost all of you are friends, and we appreciate it. And our country will not let you down. You know, we hit a new high today, the stock market, in history. And I think we've hit 48 highs since I've been there. I've only been there 9 months, and we've hit 48 highs, so it's really great. 48 highs, and we solved 9 wars. No, 8 wars, and another one coming. I think Russia-Ukraine is coming. I thought that was going to be the easy one. We did the Middle East, but we didn't do that, but we'll get it done. But it's really a very good feeling to do that. But we really appreciate it, and you have great companies. You're phenomenal business people and beyond business people, honestly. But thank you all very much. We appreciate it. We won't let you down. Thank you.
Hello, everybody.
How you doing, Mr.
How are
President?
you? Bumpy weather up in the plane. We're way up in the air. We're a little bit bumpy. So what's the word? Do you have any questions?
Sir, could you tell us a little bit about how the Lula meeting went yesterday?
Very good. We had a good meeting. We'll see what happens. I don't know if anything's going to happen, but we'll see. They'd like to do a deal. We'll see. Right now they're paying, I guess, 50% tariff. But we had a great meeting. It's happy birthday. I want to wish the president happy birthday. Okay? It's his birthday today. Did you know that?
No.
He's a very vigorous guy, actually, and I was very impressed. But today's his birthday. So happy birthday. All right? Would you let him know, please?
Mr. President, a couple more questions on tariffs. Secretary Bessent and Jamison Greer
He's right here.
have both said...
Where is he? He's right here, the handsome guy behind me.
Hi, Mr. Secretary. You said you're near a framework to present
Stand right
to
over
the...
here. Wait, let me just give him a little room.
Hi, Mr. Secretary.
He's doing a good job. No, get over here. We also have Marco here.
You said, can you give us a status on the preliminary talks with the Chinese and where that sets things up for Thursday's meeting?
So we had a very good meeting, Jameis and myself, with our counterpart, the Vice Premier, and we have a framework for President Trump, President Xi to decide on, and we discussed a wide range of things from tariffs, trade, fentanyl, substantial purchase of U.S. agricultural products,
And rare earths.
and
right?
rare earths.
It's most important.
Nothing has been agreed to yet. We'll
How do you
see.
feel
But
about it?
we feel good. I mean, we feel good. I feel better that this guy's got nice broad shoulders. If the plane makes a big turn or something, I'm grabbing his shoulder.
Please do.
You know what? I'm going to stay over here. Marco, where are you? Come on up here. Want to move over here? I think you have some more room.
Sir,
We've got a good team. This is the greatest team ever assembled.
Mr. President,
Do you know that if I weren't elected president, in my opinion, every automobile company in the United States would be either bankrupt or very close to it, and instead they're hitting record highs. Their stock is through the roof. You saw Ford and you saw General Motors yesterday go up big. It's all because of tariffs. If it weren't tariffs, it'd be just like it's been for the last 30 years, where we lost about 52% of our automobile manufacturing business. In my opinion, whether it be now or very shortly, if it weren't for what I've done as president, every automobile company in America would be bankrupt. Instead, they're doing phenomenal business. That's all because of tariffs. All right.
You on the flight yesterday, you sent out your Truth Social about the Canada tariffs. Can you walk through when you expect those to take effect? And can I ask why?
I don't know. We're gonna let them know. Ronald Reagan loved tariffs. He used them sparingly, which he probably would make a mistake. He made a mistake in that. And again, I was the biggest fan of Ronald Reagan, but on finance, on trade, it wasn't his strong suit. But he liked tariffs, and they totally changed that to say that he didn't, because they're catering to the Supreme Court. Because Canada's been ripping us off for a long time, and they're not going to rip us off anymore. Canada has been ripping us off for a long time.
Why?
One of the most difficult countries to deal with has been Canada. As much as I love Canada itself and the people of Canada, they've just had a lot of bad representatives. They did a fake ad yesterday. They were caught. The Ronald Reagan Foundation was the one that caught them, and it was totally the opposite of what they said. So I don't like that. That's dirty pool, and you can't do that. And let me just tell you, they shouldn't have done it. They've apologized, and they said, we're going to take the ad down. Well, they did it, but they did it very late. They let it play for another 2 nights, and now they took that ad down. So I don't know when it's going to kick in. We'll see, but I don't really want to discuss it. Let's go.
Can I just add, Mr. President, can I just add, this is an ad, that was an ad run by a provincial government in Canada. Why are you mad at the federal government?
Because whether it's provincial or Canada itself, they all knew exactly what the ad was. The Prime Minister knew, everybody knew. The Prime Minister knew what the ad was before it went.
Will you see him at APEC? Do you want to meet with him?
I don't want to meet with him. No, I'm not going to be meeting with him for a while. No, I'm very happy with the deal we have right now with Canada. We're going to let it ride.
Well, we have Secretary Benson here. Can we ask about the Fed search as well? Where are you on interviewing candidates for a new chair?
We're down to 5. We're obviously traveling a lot now. We're going to continue. We're going to do a second round, and we hope to present a good slate to the president right after Thanksgiving. It'll ultimately be his choice. I think he's got some very strong ideas.
I'm thinking about him for a fact. What do you think?
Thinking about Secretary Benson.
I'm thinking about Marco. Thinking about Jameson. Would you like him? Thinking about a lot of people.
I think Stephen Miller.
We do have a lot. Stephen Miller. How about Stephen Miller? We have a lot of candidates that want the job.
When do you think you'll make a decision?
I think it's the world's easiest job, but to get it right, you have to be very smart. And we have a person that's not at all smart right now, unfortunately. He should have been much slower, much sooner. That's why we call him Jerome Too Late Powell. Let's go.
Russia said this week that they've tested a new missile that can go more than 8,000 miles. Is that saber rattling for you? What is that?
They know we have a nuclear submarine, the greatest in the world, right off their shores. So, I mean, it doesn't have to go 8,000 miles. And they're not playing games with us. We're not playing games with them either. We test missiles all the time, but, you know, we do have a submarine, a nuclear submarine. We don't need to go 8,000 miles. And I don't think it's an appropriate thing for Putin to be saying either, by the way. You ought to get the war ended. A war that should have taken 1 week is now in its soon 4th year. That's what you ought to do instead of testing missiles.
Mr. President, should the EU use frozen Russian assets to help pay for defense of Ukraine?
You have to ask EU. I'm not involved in that. That's up to EU.
Are you considering additional sanctions against Russia?
You'll find out.
So, Mr. President, shipbuilding has been a big part of your trade deals with both South Korea and Japan. Why is it so important to increase our shipbuilding to counter China?
Well, pretty obvious answer to that, because we want more ships. We're going to be back in the shipbuilding industry. We have a lot of companies coming into our country now. They're going to start building. We have the shipyards available. You know, in World War II, we were the biggest in the world in shipbuilding. And then over the years, we went wokey and stupid and weak, and we started buying ships from everybody. And, you know, we lost that industry. But we'll get that industry back. We were the best at it, and we'll soon be very good at it, if not the best.
What are you going to announce in Japan? Can you give us any preview?
We're going to just announce great friendship. I look forward to meeting the new Prime Minister. I hear phenomenal things. She was a great ally and friend of Shinzo Abe, who was my friend, the former Prime Minister, and he was great. He was one of my best. He was one of the best. And the group, he was one of the best, really best. And I know they were very close. And I think philosophically they were close, which is good. It's going to be very good. That really helps Japan and the United States. I think she's going to be great.
Which CEOs are going to come to your dinner tomorrow? Can you say what companies?
I'd rather not say. You'll see tomorrow.
Are you planning to sign a final deal on TikTok on Thursday when you meet with
We might. That'll be one of the things we're discussing. Somebody reported it's been approved recently. I mean, we got an original approval from President Xi. I expect we'll have an approval, but I'd rather wait till a couple of days to let you know.
Is it part of the grand deal coming
No,
together
but
for Thursday?
it's something we're going to talk about.
current
Do you have any
55% tariffs on China? Is the understanding from both countries that will remain regardless of what?
No, I don't want to tell you what the understanding is, because what we understood yesterday or 2 days ago or even today is not going to be necessarily what it's going to be in 2 days. I mean, we're going to have a great talk. I have a lot of respect for President Xi. I like him a lot. He likes me a lot, I believe, and respects me, and I think he respects our country a lot. And I think we're going to have a successful transaction for both countries.
Have you been briefed on the incident on the Nimitz, both a fighter jet and a helicopter?
I've heard
lost?
about it, yeah.
Do you know what happened there? Was that?
They're going to let me know pretty soon. I think they should be able to find out. It could be bad fuel. I mean, it's possible it's bad fuel. Very unusual that would happen to
But you don't think there was like foul play or anything?
No, I don't think so.
Security threat?
No, they think it might be bad fuel. We're going to find out. Nothing to hide. We'll find out.
Sir, has there been a snag in terms of the South Korea trade talks? How is that
No,
going?
I don't think so, Scott. Has there?
No, there are just a lot of details to work out. A very complicated deal, and I think we're very close.
Do you expect to finalize that on Wednesday, or will it maybe not quite be done?
I think not quite, but I think the overall framework is done. We're just getting crossing the T's, dotting the I's. That's what Ambassador Greer's team does, and nobody's better at it than they are.
Mr. President,
You want to say something?
Sure. So with the Korea deal, there are a few parts to this. There's some, national security related issues, which are really, not in my wheelhouse. Then we have some pure trade issues where they've had some non-tariff barriers to us for a long time, and we've resolved a lot of those, so that's great. And then there's another piece which is really about investment going forward. The Koreans have a great plan to invest in U.S. shipbuilding, even more than they've already done it. And so they're talking right now, frankly, about how to implement Korean investment in the United States in the best way to make sure that we're...
And especially towards shipbuilding. We're very much involved in getting the shipbuilding going again, which really we should have never lost. Years ago, they lost that. Many decades ago. But we were number one. We'll be either number one or right up around them. China's making a lot of ships. I take my hat off to them. Now, they wouldn't if we had that situation where we charged essentially a fee, but we're not looking to hurt their shipbuilding industry.
Have the Koreans asked for any visa guarantees after that immigration raid
No,
in
but you know
Georgia?
how I feel. I was very much opposed. Look, when they come in and they're making very complex machinery, equipment, things, they're going to have to bring some people in, at least at the initial phase. In that case, it was batteries. Batteries are very complex, and they're actually very dangerous to make. You can't just pick people off an unemployment line and say, we just, opened up a $2 billion battery factory. So we've got an understanding. And this is with the world. By the way, this is not just with South Korea. This is when they come into our country. We have a lot of factories being built by foreign interests. When they come in, some of these factories make very, very complex, very highly sophisticated equipment. They've got to bring people in with them for a period of time. They'll teach our people how to do it, but even for a fairly long period of time, they're going to need expertise to be successful. And we're going to let people know, I'm letting them know right now, that when they come into our country, we can expect to see them bring in with them some very talented people that have been doing it for many years. They'll teach our people how to do it. Our people will be just as good as they are within a period of time, and it'll be a phase out. But we want them to bring in experts, and that's the way it is.
Mr. President, what visa would they come under, and how long would those?
We have that set. We're doing a whole new plan for that. But what you can't expect, let's say they come in, for instance, we have massive number of chip companies, in particular one, the biggest by far, the biggest in the world, coming in. You can't expect them to make unbelievably complex chips and computers and other things and pick people off the unemployment line that haven't worked in 5 years. But we're going to, so I want them to come in with talented people, and they're going to, it'll be a phase out, a slow phase out.
Did I hear you right that you said you were opposed to the way that raid in Georgia was handled?
I was opposed to getting them out. And in fact, before they got out, they were pretty well set. But before they got out, I said they could say they went, they left, and they're going to be coming back.
Right. Did you see the results from the Argentina election? It looks like Milei's party has done well.
Wow, what a great question that is. I love that question because that was a big win in Argentina. I want to congratulate the victor, and he was a big victor, and he had a lot of help from us. He had a lot of help. I gave him an endorsement, very strong endorsement, and it was really unexpected to have a victory of that. People thought it would be hard to win, and not only did he won by a lot. So Argentina, that was a great thing, and I give Scott and I give Jameson, everybody, Marco, a lot of credit for that because, you know, we are sticking with a lot of the countries in South America. We're focusing very much on South America, and we're getting a real strong handle in South America in a lot of ways, including the fact that we don't want their drugs. We don't want drugs coming into our country, and you're seeing that.
You had suggested that you might not proceed maybe with the swaps plan or with the changes to beef purchases, depending on the result of that
we'll
election.
See. We'll see. We're going to take care of, look, we're going to take care of our ranchers one way, though. We have two situations. The ranchers for 35 years have done very poorly, the cattle people. They've done very, very poorly, and now they're doing well, but the price is up. So what I can see happening is we're going to take some beef because I have to get the price down. I want to get, most prices are down. If you look at energy and all the, I have things down, but beef is high, and the cattle ranchers are doing good. They backed me from day one. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure that they don't get hurt, but we have to also make sure that I get the prices down. I want to get the prices down like I did with eggs, like I did with lots of others. We had a couple of them where when I first took over, eggs were double and quadruple what they were. That was Biden's fault. A lot of this is Biden's fault, too. And we're going to get the price of beef down, and I'm going to make sure the cattle ranchers don't get hurt.
Mr. President, you talked about North Korea on your way here. Have you heard anything back from Kim Jong-un?
I haven't mentioned it. I haven't said anything, but I'd love to meet with him if he'd like to meet. I got along great with Kim Jong-un. I liked him. He liked me. If he wants to meet, I'll be in South Korea.
Would you extend your trip in order to try to meet Kim? Would you extend your trip in Asia in order to meet with him?
Well, I hadn't thought of it, but I think the answer would be yeah, I would do that, sure.
When you
It's
do,
our last stop, so it's pretty easy to do. Yeah, I would do that.
when you do meet with him, sir,
With Kim Jong-un?
yes, what does the U.S. have
Well,
to
I
offer
didn't say I
him?
was meeting with him, but if he'd like to meet him around, you know, I'll be in South Korea, so I can be right over there. We'll hop.
But what could the U.S. offer him at this point?
Well, we have sanctions. Right? That's pretty big to start off with. I would say that's about as big as you get.
Anything as like an inducement to do a deal?
I just had a good relationship with him. I would love to see him if he wants to, if he even gets this message. We haven't mentioned anything, but he knows I'm going over there. If he'd like to meet, I'd love to meet him.
Are you concerned about flights being halted at LAX due to shortages for air traffic controllers? Is there a way we could pay them?
Yeah, there is, but the Democrats should just do a simple extension. The Democrats are holding it up. They want $1.5 trillion for people that came out of prisons, for illegal aliens that come into our country. We don't want to do that because that will really hurt the health care that we have in our country. And frankly, we'd like to see better health care, period. We're not looking to do that. The Democrats can solve that problem with air traffic control. All they have to do is say, the country's open. We only need 5 votes. The Republicans are with us. We only need 5 votes. So let's see what happens. I would imagine that gets taken care of. Not only the controllers, but other people too.
How is your relationship with Elon these days? And is there a Doge 2.0?
I saw that during Charlie's beautiful tribute. Elon came up. It's good with Elon. I like Elon. I've always liked Elon. Elon's good.
Have you talked to him since the memorial?
On and off a little bit. Yeah, very little. Nothing much. Look, he's a nice guy. and he's a very capable guy. I've always liked him. He had a bad spell. He had a bad period. He had a bad moment. It was a stupid moment in his life. Very stupid. I'm sure he'd tell you that. But I like Elon, and I suspect I'll always like him.
Sir, what are your thoughts on the continued protests outside immigration centers in Chicago?
Well, when people come into our country illegally, especially in terms of speed, the very bad ones, like murderers, because we've had murderers came in through the Biden administration. We have very tight borders now, but we had open borders. Incredibly, we had open borders. What were they thinking? But we have murders. Over 11,000 murderers came in. Many of them murdered more than one person. We want those people out. We want people that were in prisons. We want them to go back to their prison, not our prison. We want them out and get them out. Get them all out.
Do you think deportations are happening?
Really a terrible mistake that was made. When you think of it, so much of our time is spent on that subject. And it's a big subject because there's probably 20 or 25 million people, the real number. And of the 25 million people, it's, millions of people should not be here. Now, all of them shouldn't be here if they came in illegally, but we have to get the criminals out. Washington, D.C. is doing great. Memphis is starting to do great. We just started there 2 weeks ago. Any place we touch is going to do well. If I were a governor, I'd say, please get your people in, whether it's National Guard or the military. Get them in.
Is there a deadline?
And as you know, we've been winning those cases.
Is there a deadline for San Francisco to get their crime rates down before you send the
Yeah, I
national
mean,
guard?
I'd like to do it, but, I have a lot of very important people that are really into San Francisco that are really trying to do it themselves. I said, we can do it better because we have a strong group, a tough group, a group that has powers that other people don't have. Locally, you don't have the powers that the federal government has, and we can do a better job of it faster. But I listened to a few of the people, Jensen, who's fantastic, from NVIDIA, as you know, and Mark he owns Time Magazine, among a lot of other things, right? He's a good man. And they would love to give it a shot. And I say, go ahead, do it. And I would have done that with Chicago, but Chicago is very far along the way. We have to do something with that. If I have a lot of friends influential in Chicago. If they call me, maybe I do the same thing, but we have to save Chicago immediately. We can do that pretty easily, but we have to get in quickly.
Can I go back to Argentina quickly?
Yeah.
What do you think the state of the fiscal situation is there now? Do you think you'll have to do another
Well, we have the
deal?
all-time expert right here. I think right now we've made a lot of money based on that election because the bonds have gone up, their whole debt rating has gone up. That election made a lot of money for the United States. Now, we're not in that for money per se, but if you look at the value of the bonds, the debt, Scott, you go ahead, please.
Yeah, I think the great victory in this election, President Milei, I think he is going to expand his coalition, and they have some big refinancings next year. But the Argentinian people have spoken. President Trump, that they know that the U.S. is their ally. Thanks to President Trump, we're behind them, and that they're going to be able to fix their fiscal and keep on the road. He's working against 100 years of bad policies, and he's going to break them thanks to the support for the United States.
And we're helping other South American countries also, as you know.
Will they need more support, or would you consider it if they need it?
They might. Yeah, we would consider it. I think there'll be a good shot.
Yeah, we think the market's going to do it from here now that he's gotten over this. As I always said, this was a bridge. We've bridged him. Thanks to President Trump's support, he did better than anyone ever expected. The Coronas said it wasn't a fair election because we were running against Donald Trump too. And now I think the market is going to take care of itself, and it's going to have a lot of confidence in his policies and the way forward.
The polls were very wrong on that election. I mean, the polls really got it wrong. That was an election they said was going to be lost, and not only was it won, but it was won by a lot. And maybe we did help. I hope we helped.
Sir, for you or Secretary Rubio, over the weekend, Israel assassinated a military official of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad movement. Does that violate the ceasefire law between Israel and Hamas, or are they treated as a separate group?
You're talking about the strike against the Palestinian Jihad individuals?
Yes.
Yeah, look, Israel didn't surrender its right to self-defense. Obviously, the ceasefire is based on obligations on both sides. By the way, we'd also like to see Hamas speed up the return of hostage bodies. We still have 13 hostages, 2 Americans included. But we don't view that as a violation of the ceasefire. They have a right. There's an imminent threat to Israel, and all the mediators agree with that.
How transparent is the Trump administration? You got Scott, you got Jameson, you got Marco. We're not saying you please don't ask this question. You can ask anything you want. There's never been anything like this. Do you agree with that?
Well, I just wanted to ask a clarifying question from my earlier thing. You said 5 Fed candidates. That's Waller, Hassett, Warsh, Ryder, and Bowman, right? Reader, and Bowman. All right, thank you. I just wanted to clarify. Whether a surprise 5th, and you've added a surprise 6th occasionally with Secretary Bessent.
He likes what he's doing too. I don't think you could pull him out of there no matter what. It's like Caroline. How's Caroline doing? Good? Would you say she's doing good or just okay? I think she's good.
You've been very gracious.
I'm the one who brought them all back here. You should be thanking me.
We wouldn't be here right now. She's doing great.
When do you think you'll make a decision on the Fed? Last Fed question.
I'd say maybe by the end of the year.
Yeah, before Christmas, right around.
I think by the end of the year. Early next year, but by the end of the year. We want to get too late out as soon as possible. We want to be too early with too late.
Sir, Steve Bannon said in a recent interview that there could be plans for you to be able to run and potentially win a 3rd term in 2028. Is that something you'd be willing to challenge in court to be able to do?
I haven't really thought about it. We have some very good people, as you know, but I have the best poll numbers I've ever had. I mean, I just solved 8 wars and a 9th is coming. I believe Russia, Ukraine will happen. But we just did, we just left, and when you look at the treaty we just did, that was a war, that was thousands of people were already shot at the border. And when you look at what we just did, it was pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. We got a lot of good credit. And I really have to thank Malaysia for that, because they really, the Prime Minister and everybody really helped get the 2 countries together. But it was quite a great peace treaty. But that was one of 8. And makes me feel good. I mean, it's millions of people that we saved. I saved the lives of millions of people. That's what's important. Yeah.
Who are the very good people?
They are good people.
You said that for 2028 there are very good people who you have in mind.
Oh, we have great people. I don't have to get into that, but we have one of them standing right here. We have JD, obviously. The Vice President is great. I think Marco's great. I think, I'm not sure if anybody would run against those two. I think if they ever formed a group, it would be unstoppable. I really do. I believe that. I would love to do it. I have my best numbers ever. It's very terrible. I have my best numbers.
So you're not ruling out a 3rd term?
Am I not ruling it out? I mean, you'll have to tell me. All I can tell you is that we have a great group of people, which they don't. They have Jasmine Crockett, a low IQ person. They have AOC's low IQ. If you give her an IQ test, have her pass like the exams that I decided to take when I was at Walter Reed. Those are very hard, they're really aptitude tests, I guess, in a certain way, but they're cognitive tests. Let AOC go against Trump. Let Jasmine go against Trump. I don't think Jasmine, the first couple of questions are easy. A tiger, an elephant, a giraffe, When you get up to about 5 or 6, and then when you get up to 10 and 20 and 25, they couldn't come close to answering any of those questions.
You read out Walter Reed mentioned advanced medical imaging. Did you get an MRI? Can you tell us what that was?
I did. I got an MRI. It was perfect. Yeah.
Can you tell us
I gave you the full results. We had an MRI, and in the machine, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it was perfect. Yeah.
Can you say what in particular they were looking for?
You could ask the doctors. In fact, we have doctors traveling with us, but I think they gave you a very conclusive. Nobody has ever given you reports like I gave you. And if I didn't think it was going to be good, either I would let you know negatively, I wouldn't run, I'd do something. But the doctor said some of the best reports for the age, some of the best reports they've ever seen.
One theory on how you might try to serve a 3rd term is that you could run as the vice president.
Yeah, I'd be allowed to do that.
Is it the White House's or the White House counsel's or his legal political position, I guess.
You'd be allowed
you
to
could
do that, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. I think it's
You're ruling that
it's
out.
too cute. Yeah, I would rule that out because it's too cute. I think the people wouldn't like that. It's too cute. It's not. It wouldn't be right.
Sir, a golf-related question. Do you mind? Your personally the most difficult shot for you in golf?
Right now?
Well, yeah. How were you playing?
The most difficult shot. It used to be chipping, but I've become a very good chipper. I hit them all pretty good. I'm a pretty good golfer. I won 38 club championships. That's pretty good. I mean, pretty much I hit. I'm very solid, very consistent, pretty long. I mean, I hit the ball pretty long. I play with Gary Player. You know, Gary's 90, and he shot 70 with me the last time we played, which is pretty amazing. From
So
68.
putting is pretty good for you.
Putting's pretty good. Putting used to be. I'd say putting used to be the best, but I'd say putting is pretty good.
Sir, can I ask you just one more trade question? There were some tweaks to the Vietnam deal where they're going to have some zero tariff items that can come into the United States.
Yeah.
Why was that change made?
I don't know.
That's just there's a handful of things like coffee, etc. The type of stuff we don't make in the United States or grow, like climatologically we can't. So it makes sense if people are going to do a deal with us, we'll give them a good deal there. But overall, 20% on Vietnam.
And we want to get coffee down a little bit.
So just to clarify, technically, that was stuff that was at 20 and now will be brought to zero. Is that?
Well, it's just brought to whatever congressional level of tariff there is, right? I mean, this is, we have a huge deficit with Vietnam, and so they've taken down all their tariffs to zero on everything.
All gone.
All the non-tariff barriers gone. They're going to accept all our autos, all our standards, all of that. We have 20%.
Which, by the way,
on
people
that.
said impossible to get.
They did say impossible.
They're all gone.
Yeah. And so we just have a few items like that we can't grow or extract from the ground in the United States. Certain spices, right, that we don't grow in America, that kind of thing.
How worried are you still about the risk of transshipment through Vietnam from China?
So part of the deal, they've agreed to a duty evasion agreement with us, and if we catch them doing it, we can charge an additional 40%, right?
On top of the 20?
That's right, yeah. And that's an executive order that's already in place.
You guys have a very interesting couple of days. We have Japan, and then we have South Korea, but we have China coming, and it's going to be very interesting. I have a lot of respect for President Xi, and we are going to, I think we're going to come away with a deal, but I really feel good. Our country is doing so well economically. It's doing so incredibly well. The Democrats should let it open. I guess they don't do that because it's doing so well. It's too bad, but on the macro scale, it's not having that kind of an effect. We just want people to get paid. We think it's very unfair. And how about the man that put up $130 million to make sure our military got paid?
You won't tell him?
I won't tell you, but this is a person that called me that said, sir, I'd like to make a contribution of any difference needed for the United States military. I said, I don't know, that could be a big number. And we worked it out. It was about $130 million. And he wrote a check for $130 million because he's an unbelievable patriot. And that's what it's all about. So we're going to have a good time over the next 2 days. Get a little rest.
One quick one, sir.
I haven't been watching it too much, the World Series. No, I'm disappointed. They didn't put Pete Rose in. I said, put Pete Rose in before he dies. He had over 4,000 hits. They didn't do it. And with all the gambling you see now, I mean, give me a break. They didn't put Pete Rose in. I asked the commissioner, put Pete Rose in, commissioner, long before he died. Like a year before he died, they didn't get it done. Should have gotten it done. Pete Rose was a great baseball player.
So one quick one. You said yesterday that you might invite China to Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
When would that be?
Well, sometime after. I'm going to go. We pretty much agreed that I'll be going to China.
When is that?
In the earlier part of the year.
Okay.
And President Xi will be coming into maybe Washington or Palm Beach or someplace sometime after that.
Vietnam said that you accepted an invitation there as well. Do you plan on visiting
Well, he
Vietnam?
invited me. If I can, I will. We have a good relationship with Vietnam. And they've made a lot of money with the United States over the years with presidents that really didn't know what they were doing. But now, as you know, Vietnam is not charging us tariffs. And that's a big step. And based on that, I would.
And on Friday,
that's a big move.
On Friday, Ambassador Greer launched a 301 on whether China reneged on its Phase 1 deal. Part of these talks, would you pause that? How connected is that
I
to
don't
the
think
Thursday
it's going
talks
to
and the talks
be. It
you've
may
been
be a
having?
part of the talk, but it may be a part of just the negotiation.
That was a separate deal from before, and there's a lot of view in the United States that they didn't keep aspects of that deal. So we're just looking into it. That's continuing, but we're really focused
If all
on
works out well, I'm sure they'll be able to talk us out of it. You agree?
We'll see.
I think so.
Up to you.
I have a feeling they'll talk us out of it.
You long said that you have a great relationship with Xi Jinping. You really get along.
Yeah.
Could you just elaborate on that? What about your relationship is so great, and what about him are you really drawn
We were
to?
obviously that was hurt pretty badly by COVID when COVID came in through Wuhan. Everybody knows that. I always said it. I said it right from the beginning. So that had an impact, but an impact for a lot of reasons. Number one, we didn't get to speak as much because we're all busy getting out of that nightmare. But no, I think I have a very good relationship, as good as anybody, and I would say that likewise with him. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. President. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
開始が遅れまして失礼いたしました。今トランプ大統領の部屋で野球を見ておりました。1対0でドジャースが勝ってます。
So to the press corps, I'm very sorry that we kept waiting. As a matter of fact, Mr. President and I myself just enjoyed watching the Major League Baseball match. Actually, Dodgers versus Blue Jays, and Dodgers is now having a 1-point lead, and we really enjoyed the match.
まずトランプ大統領の訪日を改めて歓迎申し上げます。で電話でも申し上げましたけれども、自民党総裁選挙に勝った直後にお祝いの発信をいただきありがとうございました。直接お会いできることを楽しみにしておりました。
So President Trump, let me extend a very warm welcome upon your visit to Japan. As I convey to you over the phone, I thank you for your congratulatory message to me right after my party LDP's presidential election. And I have been very much looking forward to seeing you in person here in Japan.
で安倍総理に、対するもう長きにわたる友情に感謝をしております。また昨年末に安倍昭恵夫人を、歓待いただいたことにも感謝を申し上げます。
First of all, thank you for your enduring friendship with Prime Minister Abe over the years. In addition, thank you for extending gracious hospitality to Mrs. Akie Abe at the end of last year.
実は安倍総理からはよく、トランプ大統領のダイナミックな、外交について話を聞いていました。タイとカンボジアの、停戦に成功し、トランプ大統領はまずアジアの平和に貢献をされました。それから先般の中東における、合意の実現もですね、これはかつてない歴史的偉業です。
As a matter of fact, Prime Minister Abe often told me about your dynamic diplomacy. Most recently, Mr. President succeeded in securing a ceasefire deal between Thailand and Cambodia and contributed to ensuring peace in Asia. Also, the deal you have recently achieved in the Middle East is an unprecedented historic achievement.
これだけの短期間に世界はより平和になりました。でこの世界の平和と安定へのトランプ大統領の揺るぎない、コミットを高く評価します。で私自身も強い感銘を受けました。
In such a short period of time, the world started to enjoy more peace on the ground. And in this context, I highly value your unwavering commitment towards peace and stability. I, myself, was so impressed and inspired by you, Mr. President.
今や、日米は世界で最も偉大な同盟になりました。で日本も共に、世界の平和と繁栄に貢献をしてまいります。
Now both Japan and the United States have developed the greatest alliance in the world. And together with you, Japan is ready to contribute towards peace and stability.
私は日本の国益を守り抜くためにも強い日本外交を取り戻す決意です。そして自由で開かれたインド太平洋の進展に向けても日米でさらに協力を進めたいと考えています。
On diplomacy, I am determined to restore dynamic Japan's diplomacy to protect Japan's own national interest. In addition, I am ready to promote further collaboration with you and with the United States toward our shared goal of achieving a free and open Indo-Pacific.
で私はこれから日本の国力、つまり外交力、防衛力、経済力、技術力、情報力、人材力を強くするリーダーとして働いてまいる決意です。
So let me share with you my determination. I will continue to strive as a leader of Japan to strengthen Japan's national power, namely diplomacy, defense capabilities, economic power, technology, intelligence, and human resources.
来年は、米国建国250周年、ですよね。で、共に、日本も共に盛大にお祝いをしたいと思っております。ワシントン DC に250本の桜を、寄付する予定です。それからまた来年7月4日にはワシントン DC で日本の秋田県の花火が打ち上げられると聞いております。
Next year, the United States will mark the semi-quincentennial anniversary. Japan and I would like to join the United States to have a magnificent celebration. We will extend a gift of 250 cherry trees to Washington, D.C. In addition, I understand that fireworks from Japan, from Akita Prefecture, will be shown in Washington, D.C. on July 4th next year.
日本とアメリカを、より強く豊かにするために、日米同盟の新たな黄金時代をトランプ大統領とともに作り上げていきたいと願っております。ありがとう。
Through these efforts, together with you, Mr. President, I would like to realize a new golden age of Japan-U.S. alliance where both Japan and the United States will become stronger and also more prosperous. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank you very much, and I want to congratulate you. As you know, Shinzo Abe was a great friend of mine, and I was very saddened to see what happened. It was so shocking, but he spoke so well of you, even before we knew what was going to happen and your ascension. He spoke so well of you long before we met, and I'm not surprised to see that you are now the Prime Minister. And he would be very happy to know that, and I congratulate you on behalf of the United States of America.
総理ありがとうございます。まずご着任の、に対して、祝したいと思います。晋三は私にとって非常に素晴らしい友人でありました。本当に、彼が亡くなったことはショッキングであり、悲しい出来事でありました。また、安倍晋三氏からは、かなり総理のことをよく話されておられました。ですので、お会いする前から、総理になるということを私が知る前から素晴らしい話をよく聞いております。ですので、晋三氏もかなり喜んでいらっしゃると思いますし、米側を代表して私の方からも祝したいと思います。
I know that you are increasing your military capacity very substantially, and we've received your orders for a very large amount of new military equipment, and you know that we make the best military equipment in the world, the jets, the missiles, and everything else, and hopefully we don't have to use them very much, if at all. But we appreciate that order, and we very much appreciate the trade. We're going to do tremendous trade together, I think more than ever before. We're just signing a new deal, and it's a very fair deal, and we look forward to welcoming Japan into the United States and a continuation. And it's something that everybody is very, very excited about.
でまた、日本の方も、かなり自衛隊や防衛に関して、増加をされるということで、聞いております。このほか、米国から装備品の調達をされるということで、もちろん米国はベストな、戦闘機、ミサイル等を持っております。 もちろん使いたくはないのですけども、このような調達に関しても感謝申し上げたいと思います。貿易に関してもこれから増えていくことかと思います。また貿易協定の署名式もこれからなされる予定であります。非常に公平なこの協定になっていると思っておりますので、これからもこのような関係を継続していきながら非常にエキサイティングな時代になっていくと思います。
I have always had a great love of Japan and a great respect of Japan. And I will say that this will be a relationship that will be stronger than ever before. And I look forward to working with you. And on behalf of our country, I want to just let you know, anytime you have any question, any doubt, anything you want, any favors you need, anything I can do to help Japan, we will be there. We are an ally at the strongest level. And it's a great honor to be with you, especially so early in what will be, I think, one of the greatest prime ministers. I think you will be one of the great, everything I know from Shinzo and others, you will be one of the great prime ministers. I'd also like to congratulate you on being the first woman prime minister. That's a big deal. That's a big deal, and I want to congratulate you on that. I think that has to be called out. And you're going to do a fantastic job, and we're going to have a fantastic relationship. Thank you very much.
私は日本を愛してますし、非常に日本という国を尊敬しております。私たちの関係はこれから今まで以上に強力なものになっていくと思います。またお伝えしたいことは何らかの質問もしくは疑問、何か私たちでできることがあれば何なりと言っていただきたいと思います。日本は私たちにとって最も重要な同盟国であり、また総理にこのような早い段階でお会いできることを光栄に思っております。また、安倍晋三氏も言っておりましたけれども、非常に素晴らしい話を聞いております。ですので、高市総理はこれから目を馳せる総理になっていくと私は確信しております。また初めての女性総理ということで、これは非常にビッグディールだと私も思っておりますので、大きな期待を持っております。
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Donald J.
What a group, what a group. All champions. USA. Well, thank you very much. A big hello. This is a special group of patriots, champions, winners. You are winners. Oh, I'd love to have your job. I'd love to have your job. And a very special hello to the greatest sailors anywhere on the seas, the incredible men and women of the United States Navy. Very special people. Thank you very much. It's a great honor. Great honor to be here. But I'm thrilled to be here among thousands of proud American patriots aboard the 100,000 tons, that's a lot of tonnage. Forward deployed symbol of American might, power, and prestige, the legendary USS George Washington. This is some ship. They don't make them this way anymore, but we're not supposed to say that, but they really don't. This is great stuff. This is really an incredible GW, they call it GW, right? It's. And we've come this afternoon to celebrate the strength and the skill and service of everyone on this ship. So we're going to all relax. We're going to have a good time. We're not going anywhere, you know. If you go back to Washington, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. But I want to just tell you that you are special people, and we're going to have a little fun. And I'm going to tell you how great our country is and how well we're doing, because a year and a half ago, we had a different country than we do right now. Now we're the most respected country in the world. We're the hottest country anywhere in the world. And it hasn't taken too long, but I had no doubt. I just didn't know we were going to do it this fast. We've done it fast because of people like you. So I want to thank you very much. And I want to recognize a man that you all know well. And he's a tough cookie. He was formerly our Secretary of Defense, but now he is proudly known as our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. And, you know, I don't say this. He gave up a hell of a job. They were going to pay him millions of dollars. They didn't want him to leave. That crazy Fox, they didn't want him to leave. But he wanted, you know, every time I'd go on that show, all he wanted to talk about is the military. And I said, you know, if I ever do this, I'm going to bring this guy along with me. He knew more about it than anybody. He didn't want to be doing the other stuff. And he had a chance. He could have made so much money he wouldn't have known. He didn't want that. This is what you wanted, Pete. He's so happy now. Those drug ships aren't coming in anymore. We can't find a ship. There's no ships coming in with drugs, you know. It's like he's been incredible. So thank you very much, Pete. You gave up a lot. We appreciate it. Thank you. And unlike past administrations, we will not be politically correct. You don't mind that, do you? When it comes to defending the United States, we're no longer politically correct. We're going to defend